Would you like to see it, Emma?
God,
As
no.
long as the carpet matches the drapes.
Let me go get it.
Anything that's been in your trousers, whether it's attached to you or not, is of zero interest to me. Look how blushed he's going. You are the colour of a cooked lobster, darling.
Yeah.
Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles
Wait a minute.
and Misfits.
That sounded just like the intro to a Cleveland motor podcast.
Coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California. Hey everyone, this is Liza, your fearless leader.
What the hell does that make us?
Exactly. Feared.
That means it's fearful followers.
Feared subjects.
Another great day in the garage. In fact, there's still people out there working. Adrienne did the head bearings on her 1200 Super Tenere.
Yeah, and instantly regretted it. Instantly. But I mean, the benefits are going to be worth the effort.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big project.
Yes.
Especially because I cannot find a tool in the garage. Very simple tool. Though, there's two tools to make a job like that, taking out head bearings. Oh, wait a minute. Before I get into it, I totally forgot. Who's in the room with me?
Here we go.
Here we go. It's Stumpy John.
Man, what a glorious day today. We went for a ride down West Cliff, and it was incredible. This is why we pay the big bucks.
That's right.
Yep.
Incredibly.
Mhm.
Incredibly.
Incroyable.
There it is.
Of course, spewing the français. Oui, is Emma.
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à Motorcycles et Misfits, la première motocyclisme podcast du monde.
Oui, très bien.
It's simply lovely to be here. And yeah, I did that West Cliff Drive. It's absolutely glorious day. But I tell you what, it was quite windy, wasn't it?
It really was.
We were getting face full of spray in the parking lot. We have a late arrival. Come on in and sit down, darling. Meanwhile,
What? Let's get around to who else is here.
I was going to say, meanwhile,
Of course, looking dapper in his cool T-shirt with a cat and a Vespa. It's Bagel.
Guten Abend, lieber Zuhörer.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
genau.
And joining us as a late surprise, it's Scottie.
Hi, I'm so glad to be back here in beautiful Santa Cruz.
Do you look like
Where were
you've
you?
come off of
You
a
went somewhere?
ride?
I
Or
ended
you-
a ride here
Or
at the
you
shop,
just
yeah.
chopped a tree down? I'm
Look-
not sure.
Little Beach. But yeah, no, I just spent a couple days on a epic adventure ride with the Toot and Scoot Club.
Oh.
Oh, what
If-
did you ride?
So we don't have to get into it right
I was going
now.
to say,
There's other stuff
we
going
will.
on.
If you're thirsty, I got some primes. Oh, you got it? Okay, good.
Yeah, I get some water.
What's it called? The Thurston First? The what?
The Toot and Scoot.
Toot and Scoot?
Did you toot or scoot?
Little Beach.
All right.
Okay, we've now started like 3 different conversations. So that tells you what kind of an episode this is going to be.
It's going to be episodal, darling.
So we'll circle back to all these things, but we're going to start with Emma.
Yes, darling.
What's in the box?
I don't know. I'm going to open
So,
the box.
We had a very
Is it
nice
opening her bottle?
listener send us a box of surprises, and I hid it under the couch last week to surprise everyone, and then completely forgot. No, it's open. And so I've saved it for Emma to unbox.
So
A
this
live
is
unboxing.
this is from Mike Williams,
Yes.
and Mike is in Columbia. Is that Missouri? Is Mo Missouri?
Yes, I
yes,
think
it
so.
is.
Yes, I think it is. Anyway, it's very exciting, so I'm going to open it up. Liza's already opened it. Oh,
I saw edible things, so I just closed it. Well, I got to wait for the group.
So the first thing we have is, oh gosh, it's very nice. It's a die-cast motorcycle. I'd say it's about 1/12 scale
Me.
of a BMW. They're calling it an authority. Respect my authority.
Authority.
So this is kind of like, it could be a police.
Oh, is that the Boston?
I don't know.
Or is that Italy? Which one is that?
It could be
You
either.
have a bunch of them.
Yeah. Anyway,
Is that the...
now we're coming in.
So what model bike is that? It's a BMW what?
It's an R1200 RT.
Very cool. And it's got some fancy livery.
Yeah, that's why I think it might be the Boston Police.
Now.
Very cool.
Very cool. Thank you.
No, we're getting into the important stuff now.
I actually don't think I have this color. Cool.
So Mike is clearly a gentleman of very high discernment because he has sent some Cadbury's chocolate, which is easily the finest chocolate in the
what does
world.
it
Where was this package sent
Sounds like
from?
a rabbit.
Emma, where was it sent from?
Well, I mean, it says it's sent from... Oh, those need to go in the refrigerator.
Well, it's a bit late now.
No, they'll come back. Oh, hang on. I tell you what, there's all kinds of good stuff in here.
No,
So
they don't.
I suspect that Mike has made a little trip to England. So there is a wristband of rainbow colours that says London South Bank University.
Yeah.
So there is a Brooklands Museum fridge magnet, which is absolutely darling. A license plate for your bike door locker scooter, which is in pink, which says Emma, which I absolutely adore. Thank you, darling.
Daddy, will you open that with your implement of death?
And then, what else do we have in here? Oh, a Triumph tea towel with the National Motorcycle Museum.
Oh, you need to take that.
Well, because I'm the only one in this room that drinks tea.
Am I the only one in the room who's been to the museum?
No. So, well,
wait a minute.
That's really cool.
Wait a minute. Am I the only one in the room who has an item on display in the museum?
no.
I mean,
What?
really?
What do you have?
What do you have on display?
I built a couple of bikes for the museum back in the day.
We have here a package of dairy milk caramel nibbles.
I think they might be a bit melted.
No,
are
I
they-
think they're just
are they-
squishies.
They're juicy.
Yeah. Ooh.
Are they good?
Yeah.
Now, and finally, and I'm leaving the best to last because there is something of a mystery.
Oh, it's good.
And there is a packet of Maynard's Bassett licorice all sorts.
Those aren't words.
There's all goo.
Now, wait a minute, because now here's the mystery. For many years, Bassett's,
Bassett down.
yes, same Bassett, they have advertised their licorice all sorts by fashioning them into a man who gets up to all kinds of mischief. So there is a man made out of licorice all sorts, and people have forgotten in the midst of time, but he has a name, and his name is Bertie Bassett. There he is.
Be right back. I got to grab something.
All right.
Bertie Bassett, the bastard of all the...
No, he's not. Bertie Bassett isn't a bastard. He's a nice man who's made out of licorice all sorts, and he has two licorice all sorts that form a top hat because he's a distinguished fellow about town, and he's got this stripy, boxy body, and then a pink face.
He looks like a bee.
What a lovely care package.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely superb. Things to eat. Look upon Bertie Bassett. And he's changed over the years. He's become a lot less terrifying.
Yeah.
Because the Bertie Bassett I remember as a child was absolutely terrifying. He'd keep you awake at
I
night.
think it's about
Do you like Chucky?
Oh, worse than Chucky.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because he didn't have a proper face.
Oh.
And you'd imagine Bertie Bassett sneaking into your bedroom at night and force-feeding you licorice all sorts until you exploded
down
or
your throat,
something.
too. Just-
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
But no,
we don't
this
kink
is
shame.
a very benevolent-looking Bertie Bassett. People have forgot he's got a name, you see.
But now we all know.
Oh, I missed something out.
Perfect.
Missouri. There's a card. Pay attention. Dear Misfits, thanks always for a great podcast. Wanted to take a few goodies from my recent UK trip and some tasty treats from Emma's homeland. Thanks, Mike Williams. Missouri. Yes,
Misery.
Missouri. And
It's Missouri, isn't it?
yeah, no, and that's a tiger, I suppose.
Looks like a tiger to me.
Do you think this is their football team?
Some
Probably
sort
the same as the
sports ball situation.
band. Yeah.
Well, oh, there's more. Oh, there's
It
more.
just keeps getting better.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, here we go. And there's a little letter So indulge me. Dear Misfits, I think I speak for most listeners when I say that Miss Emma constantly amazes me with her encyclopedic knowledge of complete shit. Oh, sorry. No, of motorcycle history and mechanical minutiae. Historically, I have unquestionably accepted her proclamation as gospel. Alas, I must report this is no longer true. Oh, no!
Uh-oh.
Last month, I wrote asking for last-minute thoughts on motorcycle-related destination where might it be possible to rent a small bike for the day or two. Motorcycle Miss Emma and the crew offered their suggestions and feedback. It turns out that her advice was only half true. Even Miss Emma's feet of clay. Oh, no! Unfortunately, our favourite Brit was incorrect about the existence of rental websites like Twisted Road or Rider Share in the UK. After visiting several shops in Oxford and Birmingham, I was repeatedly told that insurance regulations make bike rental much more difficult and expensive here than in the US or mainland Europe. Only shops in major tourist locations like London or Scotland are able to afford the necessary overhead. And you know, the soul-crushing thing about this, and I didn't know, but I've since found out, it's all because of bike theft. I mean, England, alas.
It's so bad.
Weren't you saying there was something about like parking in a locked zone when you had a bike there?
Oh,
When we were renting bikes,
Yeah.
we needed to provide security that every place we were staying had secure parking.
yes. So
Right.
anyway,
Because it's very bad.
so here we are. Nothing was available in our area, and all of our journey was spent on four wheels. Oh, on the positive side, the rest of her advice was spot on. Tra-la-la. Motorcycling News pointed us to some great local events, including the largest weekly bike night in Oxfordshire. I visited the Triumph Factory in Birmingham, the Brooklands racetrack, and had dinner at the Bike Shed. As an added surprise, my wife and I happened to be in London for our annual 7-hour-long Pride Parade. Definitely the greatest party I've ever been to in a long, long time. Here are some photos and a few souvenirs to show my appreciation for all you do, including a London police bike in honour of Liza's
London.
recent UK speeding ticket.
Mhm.
Yeah, when I was there.
Oh, I see. A license plate frame for Emma from the National, and some delicious Cadbury goodie, and they are delicious. You better hand over those candies, or
I'm eating them like a mad dog right now.
yeah, I'll cut up rough if I don't get one in a minute.
Thank you.
Mike, thank you, darling. I'm gonna. Oh, they are. Oh, they're all melted.
No, just stick your hand in there.
It's fine to taste the same.
Well, Emma's chomping on food. I'll circle back to what I was saying about the two tools that you need to be able to do the head bearings,
Mhm.
the stem bearings.
Sledgehammer and a 2x4.
Well, the first one, if people don't know, and this is a great tool, I think it's a Motion Pro tool. How do you even describe this? Looks like if you took a pipe and stuck dynamite in one end in a
Oh,
cartoon and blew it up, how the end of it would like splay out.
We have that tool. It's real common for cycling also. It's called a headset cup remover.
So that's what it looks like, and it's designed. You can shove it down into the neck of your bike, and then it splays out behind the races, and you can bam, 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 bash them out.
Pro tip.
I'm sure
pro
you
tip
can
is
shove
to,
it where you want, darling.
So we had that tool, so Adrian was able to get the races out.
Pro tip is to feed it in the other direction, and it'll spring into place.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then the other tool you need to put the races back in, which I mean, it's not really a press. So I'm not sure what you call it.
Is it threaded?
So the one that I have is like 12-inch long, half-inch threaded rod with these like 3x3-inch, half-inch thick aluminum squares,
Oh, the
square washers. Yeah. And then nuts on either end. And the idea is that you take off the nut and the square washer, feed it up through, and then you just start tightening them down, and it just creates like a vise.
It sounds like a press to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a type of a press.
Nuts on either end.
Yeah.
Like Johnny.
Front and back.
But that one was missing. We couldn't find it.
Oh, did you press both cups at the same time, or one and then the
No,
other?
well, we didn't press anything because we couldn't find the tool anywhere. I'm just saying these are the two tools that make the job easy. If anyone's tackling this task, these two tools make it much simpler. Wouldn't you say, Emma?
I like having my cups pressed.
Yeah.
My experience is that pressing one cup at a time makes it much easier to get them in straight without
I see
cocking
what
one
you're
at an angle. Otherwise, they can get like racked real easily.
So we couldn't find that tool, so Adrian had to resort to the like the 2x4 and a sledgehammer, and then the old race, just bashing the old race to knock the new race in.
Well, that didn't work. So in the end,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
What'd she do? Because I saw her out there finishing it up.
yeah, we finished up. No, we just hit it with the twatting stick.
Oh, what?
I need more information.
Is that like
the
a dookie stick?
The twatting stick.
Brought the twatting stick back
The
out.
twatting stick is the mallet, the sledgehammer. The big problem, and I've come across this before, and you don't realize it's quite an insidious little problem. You think, it's not going to make too much of a difference if a bike's got a full fairing, but it does, because access is so shitty.
Yeah.
You know, you're at a really weird angle trying to knock these things back in. And time again, even using the old race, Adrian, you know, she was cocking that bearing race going in. So in the end, I said, look, let me have a go. And I was just hitting it on the very, very edge of the race directly with the mallet, with the sledgehammer, just real careful and just truing it up. And once I'd gotten it trued up and flush, then we could go in, and I found a socket that was a perfect diameter, and we just drove it in. And I tell you what, they're like butter now. They are like butter.
But just sharing that those are two great tools if you want to add to your shop that allow you to do something a lot easier. And then you two started something. What were you talking about? I said there were 3 conversations we just cut off and started again.
I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Shit about something.
Well, then I guess we can move on to the Toot Scoot.
Oh, yeah. So here in Santa Cruz, we have a CT90 cult.
Oh, no, there's more of you.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch. There's like a 20 or something people in this shit show. Yeah, it's great. And, you know, people, they have a pile of bikes that they've been slowly working on, and most of them are semi-functional. Some of them are registered, and they get out and harass the county on a regular basis. And this weekend, we went out and harassed 3 counties.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we rode about 350 miles over the last 2 days. And
Did you camp or?
Yeah.
And you were on the Passport, of course.
Correct. I rode the C70 Passport. And there ended up just being 3 of us, but it was a great time. And we went way out through San Benito County out that way and got the water crossing where you fell over.
Yeah.
John?
Yeah. How was it?
It was shallower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my question to you, Scottie, did you ever get the electric start working reliably?
No.
I
The
think
kickstart works reliably.
Yeah. And I think in order to get the electric start working reliably, you're going to have to put a genuine starter relay on that bike. And that'll cost you.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
So can I tell you why I resent those bikes?
Yeah. Tell us why.
So you guys know when you're coming up from like Emma's house, coming up through Moss Landing on Highway 1.
Mm-hmm. Like I just did.
How there can be traffic and it can be backed up for miles, right?
Yes.
One time I was caught in this traffic jam in the middle of a day. And I'm like, what is going on? And I finally found out it was a group of 4 people traveling on like CT90s, but they were wearing vests with like a Norwegian flag or something. They were obviously like, I think, Europeans that came over, and they're riding 4 across, doing like, I don't know, 35 miles per hour up this highway for miles, creating the world's biggest jam because you cannot pass. It's double yellow forever on that. And everyone was so pissed at them.
We had to come through that section. We just rode on the shoulder. And
they wouldn't get over on the shoulder. They were riding 4 across.
Well, so we went out through San Benito County and down through King City and got some great info from our friend Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Was he down there?
Yeah.
No, but I had talked to him on the phone a couple of days ago.
Oh, Hot Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we rode up through Nacimiento Ferguson and way out Pruitt Ridge and went camping out there.
Oh, you did? How was it?
It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous.
You can only still go through the east side, right?
Yeah. So we went up through 400 Leggett up to and then we came back down through. But then we used a bunch of info we got from Hot Jonathan to work our way back through some other kind of cheeky ways.
Oh, fun.
And back to some farm fields, had a pretty big stack up on some mud on a farm road.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And I'm all right. And came back through
How many were on this ride?
just the three of us.
Okay.
So what were the other two machines? So there was a yellow C70 Passport.
A yellow and red sort of cobbled together CT90.
Yes.
And a Kimco K-pipe.
Oh, yeah, K-pop.
Oh, wow.
Oh, a K-pipe, no less.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so much dirt roads, so many clattering around, so many close calls. Such a great weekend.
Right. But aside from you wadding, were there any other incidents?
Oh, yeah, a couple.
Yeah,
I think all of us crashed a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
You know, for a couple of years, we did a thing called the Tin Butt 200.
Okay.
That was a 200-mile ride on under 200cc bikes.
Mm-hmm.
And we would go down basically to like Carmel Valley Road and then all the way down to Gonzales and then back up like River Road.
Yeah.
Bagel did it with me. Did you do it both years, Bagel?
I think so, yeah.
It was when I had the little like 125cc scooters. And I thought this will be fun. But I had to provide the bikes to everyone. Like no one was buying cheap bikes. So I at one point had a collection of buddy scooters to loan to people. But I didn't really get much interest.
Maybe
So-
we'll have to revive that with the Tootin' Scoots.
Yeah.
Big fun with small bikes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, that's cool. I wanted to share. Oh, so in the garage today. Oh, you haven't heard the story. So, all right, we're going to talk about my Harley Davidson for a little bit.
Oh.
Now, the Harley Davidson, I'm having trouble selling it. So I've had it listed on both Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and I keep dropping the price. I get a lot of people reaching out to me.
Can you remind us the model and year of this
It is a
thing?
1990 Electra Glide.
Thank you.
And I get people reaching out, even people setting appointments to come who just don't show up. I've had some communicate and cancel, or which I say, thank you for communicating. I can appreciate that. Many just don't appreciate it all, or respect you at all, and just blow you off. And I don't know what I had to need to do to sell it, but there was somebody who had offered a trade for a Royal Enfield Himalayan.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, at this point, I'll consider a trade. Maybe that'll be an easier bike to sell. And I have never had one of those, so maybe I can have that for a little bit and ride. And funnily enough, I asked him why he was selling it. He goes, well, I'd like to try something new, and I've never tried a Harley. I'm like, well, there we go.
It's a match made in heaven.
So it looked cool. It's a 2018, and he said that he bought it as a fixer-upper, and he went through everything, he's fixed everything, and it had ammo cases on the side, and it had roto packs on the front sides, and it had an interesting. It looked nice, like gray and white camo tank, and I mean, appearance-wise, it looked good. And I had told him like, well, I'd need that and some cash, but we can talk about it. And he's going over the bike, showing me all the things, and he starts it up, and when you whack the throttle, it made a very weird sound, and it was just brief.
Will you make the sound for us now?
Well, it reminded me of a VW Bug. You know what? It has that kind of like fling, fling, fling when you rev it. Am I getting that like fling, fling, fling?
Yeah. Fling.
When you crack it, and I was like, what? What's that? And he's like, oh, yeah, these bikes are known for making that sound. I'm like, really?
The cylinder head?
I've never heard that before. And he's like, yeah, it's common on these bikes. I'm like, are you sure? Like, it sounds like maybe, is that an exhaust head leak? And he's like, no, I've already, resecured that. And I'm like, whacking the throttle. And it's like, cling, cling, but it runs. And I'm like, that's so weird. Right as I'm sitting there, like, going, what is that? Emma pulls up. I'm like, thank God, saved by Emma. So Emma comes up. And I'm like, Emma, what is this sound? I don't even wait for her to take her gear off. What is this sound? Fling, fling. And she's like, oh, yes, I know what that is.
Can I go for a ride?
She goes, yeah, can I take it for a ride? And he's like, sure. You did not make it, like out the driveway and then almost immediately back.
Terrifying.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
But anyway, cut a long story short, the noise was a head gasket. And indeed, it is common on Himalayans and other Royal Enfields, because when people do the first service on them, they neglect one of the most important steps is to retorque the cylinder head. And the head gasket acts like a little one-way valve. You will often find it, on Suzukis as well, particularly big single-cylinder Suzukis. I've heard a lot of DR650s and what's the Cruiser, the Savage, the Sauvage. They do it as well.
So is the fix just to tighten the cylinder?
No, unfortunately.
Or you get to replace
damage is done by then.
Okay.
And once the truth was out, you see, once the truth was out.
Yeah, this is where it got interesting, right?
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, I know it's the head. You know, I've already bought the gasket.
And he pulls a new head gasket out of one of the side cases. He goes, yep.
That's shady.
Already got one.
Well, you see, the thing is, I knew there was something going on because I said, you know, and I've used this a lot of times down at the shop. So it's like crime scene investigation, and we know what the crime is. The crime is it makes a noise. So we're going to round up the usual suspects and get as much information as we can so we can do an accurate diagnosis. And that's how I pitch it to people. And I looked at it, and the exhaust pipe had just got brand new, like goo, all over it. And I mean, it's 9 months. He said that was brand new. So he literally just gooed up the exhaust pipe to try and shut it up. But it hadn't. So we know it wasn't the exhaust. And it just, it's cylinder head. And he knew. My biggest argument with that bike was the steering head bearings. God, the reason I came straight back, I said, there's no air in this tire. It's felt that bad. And there was. And then I started, there it is. And once you've felt that notch.
Big notch.
Big notch. And we're talking a low mileage bike. And unfortunately, when a bike is with that low mileage has got a notch like that, he said it's either been down a hell of a pothole or it's had a bang. Well, more information came out then. He said, there was a big egg on the front wheel, and I straightened that out. And I said, well, there's your problem then.
And he said he had a new rotor coming in because the rotor is...
So it had a hell of a bang.
Okay. So there's some work to do on that thing.
So there's a little work, and I think, to be honest with you, and it certainly wasn't my intention because I'm not a mean-spirited person. I think he was more embarrassed than anything else, and he just kind of scuttled off with his tail between his legs. And, I was hoping you might have been able to make a deal based on, the work.
Well, you just have to give me more cash to pay to fix all the things.
But I think, he was kind of... The more I think about it, I don't want to say he was trying to pull one over on you, but I think he was being economical with what he knew about that bike. And he was completely mystified by the head bearings. But as I said to him, I said, look, if you put new head bearings in this bike, it will completely transform your riding experience.
And we know assuming the frame's not bent.
Assuming it didn't ride like the frame was bent. It rode like there was a big notch in the head bearings.
Clean.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. I mean... I know the Harley's causing you some stress, but I think the Harley is a far more desirable bike.
What is the stressful thing about the Harley? Just that you've
looking at it
so long, or that it's so hard to move around?
It's just a giant thing that sits in the middle of the entrance to the garage.
There's quite a lot of it.
So I have to move it to get anything in and out, basically. And it's just not a bike that I choose to ride. I mean, I rode it just to run an errand, and it's a very nice bike to ride. It's just not my choice, my style to ride. I mean, I'd rather ride the scooter than the Harley to go run errands around
when
town.
that bike was new, I guarantee you that the gentleman or the lady who bought that bike was just so proud of it.
Oh yeah, no, it's
because
I mean,
it's absolutely it is. It was the top of the range Harley at the time.
Yeah,
I mean, you couldn't buy a more expensive bike from Harley back then. And the paint job's great. I mean, black's always appropriate, and it's got lovely orange pinstripe. It's a very appealing looking bike. I can't understand why anyone hasn't bought it.
So here's the thing: I took it up to Image Cyclery, which is our local Harley shop, not a Harley dealership, but a local shop that's specializes in
they've
big
been
twins.
going on forever.
Oh, yeah. They're very trustworthy. They know their stuff. And I'm like, look, I'm at the point where, like, I know I'll probably lose money, but do you want to sell it for me? Because at least you know the market. I'm just listing on Craigslist. And he goes, he says, look at all the bikes I have on display. People selling them here, they're losing money on each of them. Like, nobody's interested. Like, they're just having to drop their prices and they're still not selling. He goes, that bike over there, which is a clean Harley. He's like, the owner's at 8, just make an offer. Make an offer. And he hasn't even gotten an offer on it yet. And I was like, I see. I said, well, all I'm getting are people like lowballing me, offering me like $2,000. He goes, take it. Just the market is dead. Like, wow, it's so hard.
Well,
to accept that.
Well, we kind of knew it was coming because if you think about it,
I mean, the reason I got it is because I was doing research on, we were going to talk about how cheap Sportsters are.
Right. But the point is that we've forgotten so quickly. Pre-COVID, the motorcycle industry was dead.
That's right.
The market was dead.
COVID saved it for a moment.
And COVID saved us, and it kind of threw us a lifeline. And I think it's a pendulum, and COVID threw us a lifeline, and we swung big into the positive. Used bike values went up. You couldn't find used bikes, motorcycling. But now it's swung back. And as always, it's a pendulum. It's gone back over to, it's doom and gloom and nothing happening. It's going to come back and it'll center. But how long that'll be, I don't know.
So here's what I've seen when I'm looking at the market.
Yeah. And we're talking about more than just Harleys. Right?
Well, no, I'm talking about Harleys because I'm looking at Harleys online.
Okay.
There are people who still think they're worth $7,000-8,000. So a lot of bikes that are just overpriced and sitting. A lot of them. And then every now and then you get somebody who's like, I know it's not worth much. I just need to get it out of my garage. And it's like $2,000, but like has a bearing knock or needs back fees, or it's got a problem, but it's a deal. And those are the bikes that people are scooping up. They're looking for the bargain that they can fix. And the problem is that I fixed all the things on this bike.
Oh, so you're in the uncanny valley.
Hang on. Stop press. I've just given Johnny a licorice all sort, and I don't think he's very impressed.
Tastes like a British ass.
No, it does not.
He's got a really unpleasant looking
I don't like licorice.
face.
Oh, you don't? Well, you could have told me that. It's fucking...
I didn't know what you gave me. It was yellow.
It's a fucking licorice all sort.
It was yellow. I didn't know.
So I'm asking you all collectively to help me come up with a creative way. I need to shine above everyone else.
So
what do I need to do?
You could get full
to
coverage
sell
on
this
it
bike?
And then just run it off the cliff.
I'm not comfortable doing that. So, for instance, I had an idea. Tell me if you think this might get attention.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of taking more photos. Right now, I just have like 2 side shots to get more photos.
But you have they're really nice side shots. You took beautiful pictures.
Thank you. But when you're viewing a house, you want to see all the rooms of the house, not just the front, right? So I thought maybe I'll take pictures of more things, open up the top case and say, amazing amount of room, and comes with some gifts. And in there, I'm going to have a big bag of white powder and a big bag of leafy things and just,
No.
Oregano and sugar, right, of course.
Yes. Yeah. But might that get attention or might that get me in trouble?
Both.
I feel it's going to get you in trouble, but
it might get you attention you don't want.
I think you're barking up the wrong tree. So what we need to do is we need to get involved in the psychology in the individual.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to buy that bike?
That's the thing.
That's a good question.
Because people who like Harleys want the $40,000 Harley. I don't think there's a cheap Harley market. Except, and I don't want to be like typecasting here.
No, of course not.
But most of the people who've been reaching out to me are Spanish-speaking people. So I think like the working man in some of the like Watsonville, Salinas, who like to fix things up, they probably buy like washing machines, lawnmowers, Harleys, whatever, and fix them up and flip them. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Okay. Well, that's legit. But I think what you've got to do is really got to think about who's going to buy the Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
And then once you've come up with that, you can do a personalized ad based
Well, tell
on...
me, who is it? I don't know who that is.
Well, it's going to be one of two people. It's going to be a young man who's just starting off in his big motorcycling journey and hasn't got the money to drop 40 large on a Harley. So for this young man, you're either going to need to do
Bikini shoots
with scantily clad young ladies draped all over it,
scantily clad young boys,
showing him how his life is going to be when he buys your Harley Davidson. Or...
Do you have time for a photo shoot tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Or...
I brought my Speedo. I could do it too.
Perfect.
Well, that brings me into the next one. Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a cowboy hat?
I do at home. Yes.
So there you are, cowboy hat and Speedo with John draped all over it. You're onto a winner chicken dinner.
So on a similar note, I recently sold that Honda Z50.
Yeah.
And
Oh, really?
And I was struggling to sell it for a little while, and then I changed the main picture to an action shot of a friend, very dapper gentleman with a handlebar mustache, just pinning it down the street in like t-shirt and jeans, no helmet, just living the best life. Instantly got a bunch of hits and sold it for the asking price.
My point exactly. So you're in the bikini shoot or the Brokeback Mountain, and that's it. And you'll sell it directly. All you've got to do is you've got to decide who is going to buy that machine.
Could you not list it twice with different
well, yeah, I mean, you could.
Yeah.
You could.
What could possibly go wrong?
Maybe I could sell the whole experience, and I should throw in some fingerless gloves and a vest.
Assless chaps.
And some chaps.
What about the oregano and powdered sugar?
I think you guys said that'll get me in trouble.
On a serious note, it's probably a little overpriced for this market.
$3,500
for this market for a bike that's a 1990.
Emma, a month ago when I got it back from you, you were like, "This is like worth $5-6 grand." That was what it was, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's a great value for money thing. It is a touring bike that is still capable of crossing the country without any problem at all. And it runs like $1 million. It's got a brand new battery on it, an expensive battery as well. It's got all the things done to it. It's staggeringly good value for money.
Yeah.
You know, at $4 grand, it's great value for money. But unfortunately, you've just, and I'm being quite serious. I mean, I'm doing it in a jokey way. But what Scottie has said, that action shot counts for a great deal. When I've had to sell funky cars in the past, action shot, you can't go wrong. Years and years ago, I had this delightful car called a Jensen Interceptor. And what a Jensen Interceptor is, it's a British car. It's got this giant Chrysler V8 engine in it. Very luxury interior. And it's worth a lot of money. I couldn't sell it. And like you, I changed the main shot. And years ago, when I was working for the city of Santa Cruz, I was in one of the county parking lots, and I just lit up the rear tires.
Yes.
And the rear tires, like loads of smoke coming off them, and one of the mechanics clicked a picture. And so I just used that picture, sold it straight away.
Yeah.
Because people...
I think really what we have to... No, thank you.
Incoming.
What we're talking about is marketing the used motorcycles the same way they market new motorcycles.
Would you like some licorice, Liza?
No, thank you.
Scottie?
No, thank you. I've heard they're disgusting.
Licorice is the finest.
I still think it's a price.
No, thank you.
I think if it was a Dyna or an Electra like yours, what is yours?
Super Glide.
A Super Glide. I think it would probably go a lot quicker. It's just such a big bike for a certain person.
It's a big bike for a big man.
It's true.
Who wears a cowboy hat.
So I should include a cowboy hat, chaps, fingerless gloves, and a vest.
Yes.
You absolutely should.
Yeah, those should be good gifts to put in the top case.
No, seriously, yeah, I think I do need to get creative, but action shot. Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And actually, and we can leave this subject alone, an action shot if you were to ride that bike out towards Hollister and find like Highway 2025, just a dead straight, lonely country road, preferably with telegraph poles going down the one side of it, park the bike across the street and take a picture of it on a long, lonely country road with telegraph poles. There's your action shot.
No,
because what you're selling, you're not just selling the
lifestyle.
bike.
Yeah.
You're selling, this is going to
America.
be your experience of the bike. It's America, goddammit.
But telephone poles won't work.
Well, I don't think they're quite as, they're not
They're
quite
just
as,
there.
yeah.
It's just scenery.
You want the old-fashioned, you want the nostalgia.
With the little glass insulators on them.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
take a photo of a country music album.
there you go.
There you go. If I can get a Labrador in that picture, we could sell it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I need. A dog model.
Well, Daisy's available, so.
There you go.
All right. I appreciate it. For our next segment, and Scottie doesn't know what it is, so
Perfect.
I think you'll like this. So I was reading one of my favorite motorcycle magazines. Who here gets the AMA Motorcyclist magazine?
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, Scottie.
I do not.
Oh, you need to be an AMA member. One of the great perks is you get a magazine every month. And on the cover is a story about is it the Hand family? I think it's the Hand family. It's a family in Ohio who have this farm property that's been in the family for 60 years. And they've built their own like motocross track and trails, and everyone in the family rides. And because they just have this giant farm, they've been able to just build the dream kind of, trails and track for everyone.
Awesome.
Well,
And
if you remember right, that's how Hollister Hills SVRA got its start.
Mm-hmm.
That was a private farm.
well, it was land that was donated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After, yeah.
So it got me thinking about, if you could have, the dream. Actually, I don't want to do this on 3 tracks. And I want to ask everyone, if you could build the dream garage,
Oh.
what
Yeah.
would that look like? And then second, if you could build the dream parcel,
Yes,
Mm.
what would that look like? And third,
yes.
if you could build the dream neighborhood,
Oh, yes.
Oh.
what would that look like? While you guys think on that, I will share with you, because I have long had the fantasy of building a
We know
motorcycle
about
neighborhood.
your fantasies.
And you know how they have you guys ever been through any of the airplane
Yeah.
communities?
They have airplane neighborhoods.
Airplane neighborhoods where they have a shared runway, and then people taxi, and then they're able to go onto the roads, which have very short street signs.
There-
Have you seen that?
There is one I think the nearest one to us is Rancho Cordova, just outside Sacramento.
Yeah,
There's another one a little bit closer, but yeah, the Delta area. has
There's
a
Oh,
couple of
okay.
them.
There's one in Utah I've seen, and then they're able to taxi right to their house, and they have very wide garages,
Yes.
and they go pull right in. And so, yeah, there are whole airplane communities. I've always thought, wouldn't it be great to do a motorcycle community?
That would be lovely.
And I'll tell you what my neighborhood would look like. And it would require getting a group of people who agree to buy a parcel of land together. And of course, in the middle, so the joint like backyards is just going to be a big track, like a motocross track, a street track. And then on one side, some woods with some trails. And then the house is basically on 3 sides.
I've got a better idea.
Oh, no, this is mine. You can have yours. I'm telling you mine.
I've got a better idea for
Well,
yours.
hold on. And then there's going to be a shared, like the barn where everyone can share the tools and the lifts and all the garage kind of stuff.
Oh.
And then I'll let you add in a second, because Bagel already added to my dream. And he said, can we have our own gas station?
Oh,
I'm like,
yes.
yes, we can.
Right.
Great
We can
idea.
have race gas. We can have boat gas that's ethanol free.
Can you pump to premix?
We can make it
Two-stroke
anything you
premix
want.
right out of the pump.
Run your credit card, and it goes into the neighborhood dues.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to add to my motorcycle hood?
I think you're very close, Liza, but the obvious choice would be to buy an old shopping mall, and you live in the stores as apartments, and then the track.
Oh, so
is
rather
where-
than the houses
Indoor-
around the outside,
No,
you're living on
the
the
track
inside?
is inside, and you ride up and down
Okay,
the
hold on,
stairs
hold
and
on,
down
hold
the
on.
corridors.
All right, I'm going to keep mine because there's woods and stuff. Now you tell me yours because this sounds like a completely different thing.
Oh,
so
no.
you want to buy an old mall because this is not a bad idea. There are old malls all over this country right now.
And many of
Well,
them
you
for
know,
sale.
that would be an
And they
ideal
have
community.
giant parking lots. There's a lot to work with.
But it's not my dream.
Oh.
Have you been to Disneyland?
Yeah.
My neighborhood looked like Toontown. I'd love to live in Toontown, and my house would look just like Minnie Mouse's house.
Mm-hmm. I can see it.
Yeah, no, I'd be so happy there.
All bubbly and poofy.
Yeah, bubbly and poofy, living in Minnie Mouse's house in Toontown. That's my ideal house in my neighborhood.
And Toontown is right next to the racetrack, too.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
And I can ride the monorail as well. And the only requirement I have for my garage is if there's a handsome young cowboy wearing a hat who's working on bikes
Who
for
just
me.
bought a used Harley.
That's right. And is wearing arseless chaps and not a lot else. But he has to smell good.
I'm just curious. So your dream neighborhood has nothing to do with motorcycles?
Nothing whatsoever.
But everything to do with cartoons?
Yes. Because that's how I see my life.
Okay, well,
my life's like a big car. No, and I mean,
go back to this shopping mall idea because this is not a bad idea.
Look, we have these giant shopping malls. And if you think about it, the only disadvantage is you would have to all be absolutely cocksure about the vision you wanted for your living space. But if you think about it, let's take an average mall.
Not a lot of windows in a mall.
Well, yeah, but the thing that's great about it is it's a climate-controlled environment. And you could probably put at least 100 apartments into a mall, and sizable apartments as well. Most malls have a lot of natural light, so don't worry too much about windows. You could have each, what used to be a store, could be a nice apartment, and then you've got the big Keystone stores at either end. And you could either have the racetrack indoor in either one of those stores on multiple levels.
I love the idea of a multiple level
And then,
racetrack.
great, and then the other end, you could have this fucking monstrous workshop with every kind of tool imaginable, including a gas station. So
just
basically,
take over the old Sears and just build all the craftsmanship.
Sears would become the workshop. Macy's would become the racetrack, and all the little stores like See's Candy or, the shoe store or whatever would become individual apartments.
You could do an indoor-outdoor racetrack.
Yeah, because there's a giant parking lot. Exactly. You don't need all that parking. You could build a little supermoto track.
And you could probably buy a whole mall in the Midwest for $1 million.
Yeah, but then you live in the Midwest.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because this is
but you're living in the dream.
It's a complete community.
Fair enough.
Dream community.
And if you were to say buy this in the Midwest, let's say you bought it in Idaho, which is considered the West, but let's say you're in Idaho, where all the famous potatoes come from, I am told. Nobody would come near you because that's where all those nutty motorcycle people live. And so they wouldn't bother you.
It could become like a biosphere for motorcyclists.
That's what I'm thinking.
That doesn't sound like a self-contained biosphere.
All right, does anyone else have an idea for...
I think mine's the best.
For Bagel, what would your dream neighborhood look like?
He's living in it.
Well, I mean, I really like your idea where there's kind of like a neighborhood based around a track where you can just ride straight to the track and compete, on events on weekends and stuff. And you'd be living in a community where you're not going to have neighbors complaining about the noise and trying to shut it down and stuff like that. So because I really like the idea of having that whole neighborhood focused around the motorcycling community so that everyone can kind of share in that the things that we all appreciate about it that sometimes annoy other people. And
just like the golf communities.
Yeah, like
right.
Oh, we could take over a whole golf community.
Motocross track on the greens.
That would be a certain improvement, and from my perspective. So I think there's potential there.
I like the idea of riding around a sand trap on a CR500 with paddles.
Yes,
that'd be kind of cool.
Yes.
It'd be like a little wall of death, because the sand traps in golf course. They've got it's like a bowl. And so you could do like a wall of death.
Yeah, you could do that, or like some mini like hill climbs and like catch air coming out.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
John, can I build for you what I think would be the perfect neighborhood?
No, I got my own neighborhood. That's perfect.
Okay, well, but I think I might know what it is. Let's.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, you go ahead, and then I'll do like Emma did.
My perfect neighborhood is no neighborhood. It's a bunch of land that I can just do whatever I want to do on, and invite all my friends to come and do it.
What do you want to do?
Oh, I'd build a motocross track and a flat track, and have some trail riding, and just give me 100 acres, 200 acres, with no neighbors to deal with.
Okay, see, now hold on. But the whole point is to have a neighborhood.
I don't want a neighborhood.
No, that's a parcel.
I don't want a neighborhood.
You can buy a parcel, but for the neighborhood. Now, can I help?
Sure. Well,
here's what I imagine for you.
All right.
Much like in southern Utah, in Hurricane, where my grandmother lived, and her house was out on the edge of town, so behind her was just desert. Now, unfortunately, near the end of her life, housing developments bought all that land and started building housing developments behind her house. But we had enough money to buy like the whole street and the land behind it,
I could deal with that.
Then you would have that jointly owned desert behind you, and everyone can just ride out their backyard and go out into the desert.
Yeah, if it was border on BLM land.
And that's where I was thinking to jump in and speak on my own dream. It would be a neighborhood that backs up to BLM land.
Yeah.
Where nothing's going to happen on there. And I don't have to deal with the land management part of it. We don't have to like have an HOA to manage our trails.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the people's land that we have backyard access to.
And there's horse neighborhoods.
There is a race car neighborhood just like this.
A race car neighborhood?
Riverside, down in Southern California.
Really?
Oh, that track is still there?
Know. Yeah.
Oh.
Out in Thermal, California.
Yeah, that's been there forever.
Yeah.
Well, there's a garage community actually out by the airport in Monterey, and you can buy. I think you can rent one as well. It's a good size garage, a really good size.
Oh, this is what Gordon does.
Motorsport park, and it's a good size garage with a very, very meager 1-bedroom apartment above it. But it's a complete neighborhood based on that. And I mean, they're stupidly expensive. Otherwise, it'd be the wonderful thing. I mean, they're well over $1 million each.
Yeah.
And it's only ever going to be for a single person. But I mean, that's the kind of idea. And you have this glorious garage, and you can fall out of bed and just walk downstairs and start monkeying around with your cars.
Well, there's also a neighborhood over here on the west side of Santa Cruz where it's like live workspaces, where the downstairs is like a big open garage area, upstairs is an apartment.
Yeah, that's like an artist community.
I was about to.
There's all kinds of stuff over there, though.
I was about to talk about that. I thought it was called Garages Inc., but I couldn't find it. This was a company that was going around to different towns and buying up like a storage unit space, but converting it into garage with a loft space. And the way it works is they pre-sold them all. I know some people who bought one of the units. I think they paid like $250,000 maybe for each. Or they bought 2 units.
One of my very dear friends bought one of those places and built it out.
Yeah, and so you get to choose when you're ordering it out of like the brochure how wide of a unit you want it, if you want a bathroom or not, if you want it finished out, if you want to have the loft, where your outlets are. You could make all those decisions, and some people would get a double wide unit and put a basketball court in there and have the loft with, like a sports bar for all their buddies. Some people turn them into automotive. I saw they had an open house there. So one unit had this is where they kept their RV and all their accessories. And then this other unit, that these people I know, they had all their motorcycles in there and the couch and a little lounge upstairs for all their friends. There was another unit where there was somebody who builds RC cars and was using it to run their business out of it.
Yeah.
There was another unit that had a boat in it. There was another unit that had a classic car in it. There was another unit that had a a jacked up and lifted Mazda Miata monster car.
Obviously.
Right. And it was really cool. But it was an investment. You bought in and then you own this. And they have their own little community in there. No one's supposed to live there.
Oh, okay. So that's a little different than what we have over here.
The one, no, it's on the west side, right on the edge of town, right? Yeah, you're not supposed to live in it.
So maybe we're thinking of different zones, but about out on the edge of town here, there is a live workspace on
it is
Delaware zone.
I know both spaces, and they are indeed different.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but it's the same kind of thing. There's like a surfboard shop in one, and a photography place in another, and a fabrication shop, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
The place you're thinking of, and they're very lax with the live-in. So the place Liza's thinking of, you're not meant to live there, but people do.
It's for rich people who want a big garage.
Yeah. Conversely, the place you're thinking of is really an artist community, but they let businesses in there. But it was actually built as an artist workspace. And the units were pitched to sculptors, painters,
welders, fabricators, also kind of
exactly.
Stuff
Anybody who was doing artistic shit, that was the original community. But in both cases, I think they found that there wasn't sufficient market to be so narrowly defined, so they've kind of broadened it. So now the community you think of, there is industry in there, albeit very light industry.
Yeah, it's light.
Yeah, the community Liza's thinking of, there are people who live there and just don't make a big deal about it.
Maybe, yeah. They're basically condo garages.
Right.
Where you bought into this development.
Okay, can we talk about like what kind of garage I want?
Yes, I want to get into.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
So I was actually looking at a house one time. It ended up being way too expensive, but I was really trying. So had a separate house, but back of the house was a pool, and the back of the pool was a huge barn with 2 barn doors on each side, where you could kind of roll in and roll out, and it was all built out with some indoor-outdoor carpeting inside, and had its place for tools. So for me, I would do that. Plus, I'd put a cigar lounge in there with a massive humidor, and maybe a couple workout instruments, and then also some lifts and things like that. But just sort of like the biggest, gnarliest man cave focused on motorcycles and cigars.
Super cool. So a friend of mine if we're on garages now, has what I think is probably the most brilliant garage, and it's brilliantly 2 stories. They've installed a lift, it's motorcycle sized, and there's a mezzanine in this warehouse. So all the motorcycles and motorcycle tools and all that stuff, lifts, machinery, all that stuff is up on the mezzanine, and the car stuff is all down on the ground floor because cars don't fit on the mezzanine very well.
Yeah.
But they've got like a 2-layered garage. So the big machine tools like lathes and mills and stuff, that's all down on the floor. But then the lighter things and lifts and the hand tools and all that stuff for motorcycles is on the top floor. And there's a
Bagel's thinking about him. Look at that.
I have attic space.
But yeah, they had taken this small garage and made it basically into 2 garages, doubled the floor space by putting this little motorcycle-sized lift in. It's like an elevator.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, there was a house for sale years ago here in Santa Cruz. Before I lived here, my parents were trying to lure me here, and they would send me house listings. And there was a house that came up for sale that was a 500 square foot geodesic dome with a loft above the kitchen that you slept in.
Yeah.
But what came with it was a 2,000 square foot garage with a bathroom.
That's the dream.
Ooh. Yep.
And it looked like it was like a mechanic had owned this tiny house and a giant garage. And I was like, oh, that's tempting. When I finally did move here, I went seeking this house, and I found it. Somebody bought it, tore down the garage, built 2 houses, and now this little geodesic dome is in the backyard.
What a mistake.
And I'm like, no.
Man.
But there was, and I haven't checked lately, there was a real estate listing site that was called Garages First or something like that. That was where you list your house and that had a prominent garage. Because so many times, I don't know if you guys have looked at house listings, they just forget to even mention the garage many times or to show it,
It's not the square footage.
And so this was Garages First. Let's get this underway. These are the type of people who are looking for the garage first, and then the house is secondary. And they had just amazing garages. And it's like, like here in town, a friend of mine, he works out of his garage, and he built one behind the house that's now bigger than the house. And it's 2 stories. And he's able to drive in. It's a big open garage door that you can bring a car, motorcycle, anything in. And it has, at the back of it, a giant like workbench / display that you can put actual motorcycles on display that has like the cabinets underneath it. And it's a second floor that his wife has a Pilates studio in. So that's how you got the wife to agree to build the giant garage behind the house. But, and then he's got his shop, his little store, and then a whole outdoor patio that has the parts cleaner and things like that are all under an awning, the outdoorsy things. And it's like, and nobody in the neighborhood knows that this garage mahal is behind this little nice house. He keeps it very nice, clean yard, clean hedges. Nobody knows. Yeah. But I'll tell you what has long been my fantasy. I don't know why. There's something about them I love. Quonset huts.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Oh. Yeah. When you go over to Costco, there's that row of like Quonset huts that are like people's shops. Oh, I love it. Do you not, is that not a thing in Britain? Quonset huts?
Quonset huts, there's plenty, but most of them have fallen apart by now.
I believe they're an American thing, right?
Probably.
I think they're from Maine.
They're military, aren't they?
Yeah, they're military.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Second World War. I mean, there was a lot of American people in England, so that's.
But that's the thing. They've held up.
Yeah,
they're very simple, cheap structures that have held up for decades.
Right.
Because they're structurally sound.
As long as they don't need heat or air conditioning.
Yeah.
Or windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, when I see like on reality TV or on listings or whatever, you see people who build that big garage, like they have a farm and they'll build the garage that's big enough to pull like the RV into with a giant door. And they'll have like all their cars in there. And
I thought of something else I want in my dream garage.
What do you want?
Like a coin-op car wash?
What?
Like like an outdoor, like a car wash with the cover thing with the pressure sprayer?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Like a car wash bay.
Like a car wash bay.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. You know what I want?
Well,
if John gets his cigar bar, I want a soda fountain. And you know what I want with my soda fountain? A jerk.
Soda. Oh.
With a cowboy hat on?
No, a little red and white striped hat.
Oh, little red and white. Yeah, and it's, soda jerk.
So, Emma, there's a book you have there called Garages. There's one near the back of somebody who stores their Ferraris in the living room.
Yeah, I saw that. And it's California.
Is it the living room or is it just a really nice garage?
It's a garage that got turned into what looks like a living room. And it even has a lift in it. I believe, look at that one.
So this is park the car in the living room. Jim Hull is thinking about his next garage. His new home, which will be built in Malibu. Oh, God. So it's probably burnt to the ground now. We'll have a pond, and by the pond will be a large, gorgeous garage with many garage doors, all opening poolside. He has a vision. The car's parked on the lawn facing the water, sort of an automotive reflecting pool. Doesn't sound at all pretentious, does it? So anyway, So there's these pictures. He's got some very, very nice cars. He's got a 1937 French Talbot Largo, which is probably worth about $2 million. He's got a fly yellow Ferrari 1965 California convertible. It's probably worth about $5 million. And then a 1948 Delahaye, which is
Delahaye.
Yeah, beautiful car. Which is probably worth lots of millions as well. So Jim's got a lot of money. How about that?
Problem having a big garage is I'm just going to want to buy more motorcycles and just fill it up till it's stacked.
That's true. Yeah.
I know this problem.
So
you sit in front of so many scooters.
You had so much urban air when you first moved in.
Here's a word of caution, and it's always something worth thinking about. All through my life, I always wanted a garage that was attached to the house. just because I thought, it's going to be an easier environment to keep to keep control of, because back home in England, I had a little house in Birmingham and the garage was at the bottom of the garden, which was quite common in Birmingham back then. You had a little alleyway and you'd access all the garages.
The garage or the shed?
No, it's a garage.
Okay.
It's a big garage. It's like 3-car garage.
A garage or a garage?
Huge garage.
It took me forever to realize when English people are talking about their garden, it's not an actual garden.
What is it?
A
Like
yard.
a vegetable garden.
Yeah.
It's just a yard. They just call their yard a garden.
Well, everything's quite compact, but the point is, in the summer it was too hot, in the winter it was too cold, and blah, blah, blah. So I always dreamed that I would have a garage that was attached to the house. Well, lo and behold, now I live in this house in Monterey with a garage attached to the house. And part of the reason I opened Moto Town was
to have a detached garage.
Well, to separate motorcycle working from my home environment, because I'd be out in the garage at like 2:00 in the morning in my pajamas, messing about with motorbikes, which sounds great, but it wasn't.
Not when it's your work.
And then conversely, it's like getting actually motivated to go out in the garage when you're sitting having your breakfast. And it's like 10:30 in the morning, and it's like, I like this show on TV.
It's like working from home.
Yeah, and it's very hard getting motivated. So I actually enjoy the structure of getting up, getting dressed, having breakfast, and driving to work. And everything I do, it's my house. It's my truck I'm driving. It's my business I go to. So strictly speaking, I can go whenever I want. But I like the structure of, like, this is a 9 to 5. And the important thing it is away from my home. And I think this is why you see so many of these garages in very, very wealthy people are standalone structures. Not just because they've got the real estate to do that. It's you can separate this part of your life from this part of your life.
Yeah.
And believe me, if you've got a garage that's actually attached to your house, you can kiss goodbye to running a bike in it or running a car in it, because you stink the whole house out.
You know who's living the
or
dream?
cleaning
Well,
carbs.
hold on. Before you get there, let me ask you something, John.
Mm-hmm.
What style of house does Bagel live in?
He's got a ranch.
Is it a ranch? What color is it? How many bedrooms does it have?
He's got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch.
Do you know anything about his house?
No.
Do you know anything about his garage?
Only what I see on this.
He's living in a...
We all know he's got a urinal in his garage because he's told us only about his garage. In
For my
fact,
shop.
when you found this house, you were so excited. Tell us what you were so excited about.
Well, because I had just come up to Oregon to do some house hunting and looking at some places that were interesting, and literally as I was driving back to Santa Cruz, this place got listed, and I didn't see it till I got home, like that night or like the next morning, and the opening line of the ad was, "Oh, honey, look at this shop," and it had pictures of this giant shop in back of the house that was built here a little over 20 years ago. And it's 960 square feet, has I think 9-foot, 10-foot ceiling, something like that. So it's a big space, and it was all finished.
Is it heated?
Was not heated when I got here, but I installed a mini split.
Nice.
And it is fantastic because it not only has heating in the winter, it has cooling in the summer. So I can work in comfort year round. I've also got solar installed on here now, so I've got plenty of power for whatever I need. And I just need the time to get organized, because this year I've been focusing a lot on yard work. So,
and where do you keep the young cowboy? Where does he live?
How about the jerk?
I don't have either of those. I can't afford them.
Oh, I see. It's purely monetary.
So there are 2 garages that are in our family that's getting near there. One is Mikey 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a
yeah.
great garage, and Jocelyn Snow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Bagel.
And Bagel.
I mean, he's got a urinal in his.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you used the urinal, Bagel?
Right before the show.
So I want to ask y'all something. In building a dream garage, what are some of the things that absolutely need to be in there to qualify as an amazing garage? For instance, I think there needs to be 1 to 2 couches.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you agree?
No.
Preferably,
No.
yes.
No.
What? Yes.
Yes.
No.
Preferably futons, so you can just crash.
Because
Absolutely have to have couches.
but then that's a living room.
That's
You
okay.
see, to me,
that's the point.
Yeah, you need to have a lounge.
That's the point.
Well, you want to just sit and look at your bike.
No, because
No.
you know when
We're
you're
not done.
looking at the big screen TV.
Exactly.
Thank
Oh,
you.
no.
I'm totally with you on this.
No, you're moving away from it.
No, I'm not. Mikey's got a couch and his
You
and
know,
a big screen TV.
20 feet away from my humidor, and I can smoke a cigar while I'm
I'm saying you
I've
gotta
got
have a big
chairs.
screen TV
Chairs work for me.
and a couch or two.
I'm
in an
going
L
to tell
pattern.
you a perfect garage. A perfect garage for us would be plenty of parking for motorcycles, lift for motorcycles, workbench for motorcycles, engine stand for motorcycles, welding equipment for motorcycles, lathe for motorcycles,
Tire changer,
tire changer
machine's
for
a good idea.
motorcycles.
compressor.
that.
And if you like working on old bikes, as I do, standalone polishing machine, nickel plating bath, sonic cleaner
Parts cleaner,
for motorcycles.
sandblaster.
Yeah, but money's not an option here, so we could have all that plus a big screen TV.
But
and
then
couches.
that's the living. But
No,
that should be a standalone room.
So you're building the mechanic side, and we are building
Right.
the fantasy garage
Yeah.
side. So yes, I agree. All those things, you need to have all those tools on the mechanic side. But then to make it posh, you need to have the couches,
Make it bougie.
have a refrigerator,
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
a mini bar.
a barbecue set outside right outside the door.
No, you need to have a mini bar and a wash sink, so you need to have running water.
Yep.
By mini bar, I mean, like a counter with some snacks and some food, right? So you don't have to go in the house.
Yeah, be part of the fridge.
And artwork. Some nice posters, banners, neon signs, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Got some of that.
Every motorcycle you roll in and out of there changes the artwork.
Well, true.
But I think these are all
Like
requirements
on the walls.
in a dream garage.
I think you are deviating from the purity of garage.
I think I'm not. We're building the fantasy garage.
And you can have different fantasies.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can have a fantasy.
Yes.
You're building a
It's
shop.
not either or, it's both and.
Yes.
Mm.
You know, it's funny because Liza provided this marvelous book called, and it's simply called Garages. It's called Garage. It's by Kira Obelensky, ISBN 1 56158-645-5.
You can tell I've long fantasized about garages.
And there is a garage in here, which I think is absolutely splendid. And it's an old firehouse. And
then you get a fire pole.
Well, and then the entire bottom floor of the firehouse is devoted to a workshop. And then the upper floors are devoted to luxury living space. That, to me, is an ideal standalone building.
Yeah, I think a firehouse is a great starting point because it's already a garage and a house.
Emma,
Right.
I have a further argument for the couch. So, in my garage here, I don't have room for a couch, but I have an old van seat
Yes.
as my couch. How many times have you fallen asleep on it, taking a nap there?
Oh,
Today?
many times.
There it is. There's my argument right there.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Where
but,
are you going to go take a nap
Yeah, 'cause you
in
don't
your
wanna,
garage?
But that's but that's on my garage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the simplest thing. I just toddle into the house and have a little nap on the couch, with the added benefit of I'll have a little cat to curl up with me in the living room. We have a little. we have
shop
a-
cat.
Actually,
can have a shop cat.
I think I'm coming around to this couch thing just
Yeah.
because there's no shoes in my house. And I want to be a dirtbag and sit down
Right.
sometimes.
And you don't have to clean up. You don't have to clean up. You just plop on the couch.
Yeah, you can
Mhm.
blow it off with a leaf blower and you're good.
You're good.
So I'm going to throw another thing into my version of the fantasy.
Well, I am thankful to say that I have sufficient clout in my house that I don't have to do the no shoes thing. I do pretty much what I want.
I love not having shoes in my house. That is
So we've
Yeah,
built up
different
the shop side, the machine shop side. We've built up the lounge side. Now on the third half, I want to have the checkered floor display area for all of my bikes, because we haven't talked about where the bikes live.
So hang on. So would the checkerboard part be of benefit to you or people to come over?
It's good for the gram.
For the displaying your bikes, I want nice lighting.
Yes.
And I want checkerboard floor,
yes,
clean, nice floor, and that's where you park the bikes.
No,
because you have not yet in yours. You just talked about your machine shop. You didn't even talk about where the bikes live.
They live in the machine shop.
Just did the middle?
Yeah, I mean,
where are you going to put the couches?
There are no couches in my garage. It's it's like.
Then where are you going to nap, Emma? It makes no sense.
Oh God!
In her detached home.
In my detached home, because I'm separating napping from being, around the motorbikes. And the only reason I do it here, because you find it so funny, it's like Emma's died again.
At least if you snored, we'd know you're alive. You don't. You just go completely motionless. You do look like a cadaver when you sleep.
Slack-jawed and motionless. I know.
That's why we poke you with a dookie stick when that happens.
No, with the, what do you call it? The twacker?
The twatting stick.
The
twatting stick. The mallet. Oh, my.
the twacker.
You will need a big twatting stick for that.
Well, you know what I'm about to ask our listeners, don't you?
Yep.
Mm.
Let us know what's in your dream garage.
If anybody's got a baller garage, I want to see pictures.
Send us pictures for sure.
Oh, please. Send us pictures. I mean, Mikey 3 times, he's got pinball machines, and he's got a drum kit, and he's got all sorts of cool lighting.
He's a pinball wizard.
At the same time, though, I would love to see pictures of people who have a dirty hole that they live and work in and do their motorcycle stuff in, because that would make me
I don't want to see people's dirty holes. Be careful what you're asking them for.
Well, I was thinking about the shed and the stuff out
Okay,
here.
well, you need to be more specific.
But it's a perfect example is Burt Munro, of course. And yes, he was nuttier than a fruitcake.
With a cot in the corner. That's all I need.
He lived very, very humbly.
That's a dream for a lot of folks.
And a lemon tree. Yeah. That's all you need.
To keep the scurvy away? What's
honestly,
in the lemon tree?
Lemonade.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you know about Burt Munro and the lemon tree.
Yeah.
That's what you pee on.
That actually
water the tree.
It over-fertilizes the lemon tree. Please don't do that.
So I think, though, between all of us, you've built the perfect machine shop.
Yes.
And John and I have got the lounge. Not sure what Scottie brought to this. Bagel's got the urinal. And, I think
Bagel, you brought the urinal,
with the checkerboard floor and all the bikes on display.
I try to class it up.
That's the perfect dream garage. But I want to hear from our listeners. What's the perfect dream garage for you? What things need to be in there? What did we not mention? Ooh. Should you have a grease pit to work on your car?
No. Cars don't need grease pits anymore.
Okay. So, let us know what you want to see in your dream garage. But also, if you have a dream garage, send us your pictures. Tell us what you've done, especially if you have a checkerboard floor. Send me those pics. I want to see that.
Very good.
And extra points for a twatting stick in your garage.
So, Emma, we've got a lot of emails to read, and I want to start with the heavy one first.
Really?
I do. We've got a really special email. So I just want to prepare everyone for this, to just take a beat and give a listen and then process. Are you ready, Emma?
I certainly am. And this email is from Stacey Tim, and it goes, "Hi, Misfits. I finally got around to giving you some money via Patreon.
Thank you so much, Stacey.
I was able to meet Liza at this year's One Show in Portland.
Yes.
We had a nice chat while my son, Jason patiently waited for me.
Yeah.
It was a special weekend for us because I live in Idaho and he in Montana. We share a love for motorcycles and especially Moto Guzzi's, and you know how much I love Moto Guzzi's. Sadly, Jason was killed by a drunk driver on July the 10th while riding to a Moto Guzzi campout in Washington.
I'm so sorry.
It feels like my soul has been ripped out. Our family is crushed, and I know it will take a long time to heal.
Yeah.
One of my first reactions was to sell my bikes and give up riding.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, my wife reminded me that Jason wouldn't have wanted that. I've been riding some since and making a point to take our 6-year-old granddaughter to breakfast on my KTM 790 Duke every Saturday. The motorcycle community and others have been extremely supportive. As I write this, our daughter is on her way back from Montana, trailering the Moto Guzzi 850T that I had given Jason a few years ago. Keep up the good work. You are an amazing group of people, and I love your podcast. Blessings, Stacy. Now, there's a lot to process in this.
Yeah.
And me and Liza had a little chat about this because the fact of the matter is these things are dangerous, and we all, or I like to think we all understand the risks, and over the years we've all accepted the risks. And this is always a very hard subject to broach, because when you face the death of a loved one, the hurt amongst people that knew that person is so severe. And I'll freely admit to it, the only time I've ever cried on this podcast was when I talked about my friend Ozzy. And Ozzy died in 1978. And it still hurts as much now when I think about him as when it first happened. You know, they say time's a great healer, and to a certain extent that's true. I don't think it diminishes the pain. But when something catastrophic like this happens, I mean, your entire life is just consumed. And I think as the years go by, you devote just the tiniest little less time each day to think about the person. But Jason's always going to be in Stacey's heart. And I came up with an idea, and I think you liked it, didn't you, Liza?
I did. We were saying, how can we honor Jason?
So we're going to come up with a competition of sorts. So what I would like anyone who's listening to this podcast, if you or you know anyone who has overcome a great hurdle, either to ride a motorcycle, that's the end result, or has overcome another hurdle by riding motorcycles. And, a couple of examples is if you're an older person and you have just gone through a lifetime of being terrified of motorcycles, and you've finally taken the plunge and got one, that would be a great example. Conversely, if you have suffered from a lifetime of low self-esteem, and because you ride motorcycles, you found community and you've really helped with that, I would love to hear from you.
Or even for those who've had maybe a bad crash and then
come
had
back
to decide if this was going to be in the future. Because the one thing we're also talking about when we go out there and ride, and this is something I like to remember, who helps remind me of this is actually the Vetters.
Right.
Because when Craig Vetter had his accident, he wasn't taking any big risks. He's just going down the street from his house on his scooter and got knocked out by a deer. But he had a brain injury, and the entire family had to stop everything and rally around him to help him recover. Right. And I like to remember that the decisions I'm making can impact many.
Right, exactly.
When I make them. And this is one of those things, is we want to remember how many people are affected by injury or death
and
or
those
anything.
and those around them. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do is we're going to gather up all of these things and we're going to assimilate them over a few weeks. So please, send us what you can, bare your soul.
Should we call title Overcoming?
Overcoming. And then we're going to do the Jason Awards. And we'll see how it goes. I would like to do the Jason Awards annually.
Ooh.
And the Jason Award it'll be something we give, and it's going to be a nice prize. I absolutely promise you. I will personally give you something extremely valuable, either to me, as somebody who's overcome a great deal because of motorcycling, or of great monetary value. It's going to be something very, very nice. I absolutely promise you. Maybe we'll just do it once. Maybe we'll do it annually. But it's a memory of Jason, and it's keeping his memory alive because I know he listened to the podcast. His father obviously loves the podcast. And I didn't meet him because, of course, I wasn't at the one show.
Yeah. I'm glad I did get to meet them.
I love this idea because it's a way to keep Jason as part of our community.
Right, exactly. Because the greatest thing to me always has been and always will be being part of this community.
Right.
There is nothing better than riding motorbikes with your friends. Absolutely nothing on earth. And how do we keep Jason as part of the motorcycling community? And I know Moto Guzzi riders in particular, very, very tight bunch. So we're going to do our little part, and that's how we're going to honor his memory. And you know what? I mean, Stacey, I hope that's okay with you. I sincerely hope so. It's done in a very, very respectful way. But I really want to hear. It can be for you. You can nominate yourself. You can nominate somebody you know. You could nominate something you read about in a motorcycle magazine or even in the local paper. And we'll reach out to that person and find the story. And I really want to give this award to somebody who's really had to overcome something to get where they are now. And I mean, we're all fighting battles. Every single one of us is fighting a battle of some description. Life is never easy. And I mean, death is fucking horrible. But, life is hard as well. Mm-hmm. And every single one of us has overcome something to get here. But I really want to hear from the people who've had an extraordinary journey or really overcome something really monumental to get where they are. So write in. I know it's a heavy subject. We've never shied away from this in the past. I mean, I know we're the misfits, we're the pranksters, we don't take ourselves too seriously. We always try and look on the bright side of things, and that's largely who we are.
motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com.
Right, but we don't shy away from the tough subjects and never have, because it's part of who we are and it's part of what we do. Every time you swing your leg over a motorcycle, no matter how humble, whether it's a C70 or a liter bike, there is an element of risk, and we've accepted that element of risk. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make it any easier when it happens. If any person in this room right now was to die on a motorcycle, I think it would be the end of the Misfits.
Not for me. I believe on the live on for the fallen, like don't stop redoing, keep living for them. That's my personal thing.
We would be here to honor you and keep you as part of our community too.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to say that. But it's an incredibly tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I will never get over the death of my friend 50 years ago. I will never get over it. And it's not as consuming as it was now as it was back then. but I'll never get over it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Emma, thank you for that idea. That is truly wonderful. We're going to get to more emails. And Bagel, I'm stealing one of the ones I sent to you.
Okay.
And this one is from our friend Mike D.
Hello,
Mike.
Mike D.
In South Carolina. It says, hello, all you hip cats and kittens. Meow. Says, I enjoyed listening to the Sturgis death count again this year.
God.
It's nice to know this morbid tradition carries on year after year as a gauge on the health of the community and the rally. It reminds me of a documentary I watched a couple of years ago about Myrtle Beach's 2 bike rallies. I've never heard of these.
Oh.
One is called the Black Beach and the other one is called the White Beach Rally.
Yeah, where's this going?
I'm guessing. It says, while it is a good documentary and think everyone would like watching it, I bring it up because they did an analysis of the 2 rallies. This was all related to a discrimination lawsuit filed by Atlantic Beach Bike Fest, a.k.a. Black Bike Week. They systematically compared arrests, traffic incidents, police searches, noise complaints, crowd control policies per event, city support of the event, like waiving license fees, tax breaks, and such, and the police presence at the event. I'm going to take a guess that one event had a lot more statistics like that than the other. Mm-hmm. Says, so if you want to compare and contrast rallies like Liza was talking about, maybe watch that documentary and use it as a framework to build a spreadsheet. It accounts for some of those factors y'all brought up, like the city being welcoming to an event as opposed to being hostile. So that's really cool. He gave a link to the IMDb documentary.
What was the name of the documentary again?
I have to click the link.
Okay.
But I will look. Anyway, it says, since you asked what we're working on at the end of the show,
yes,
I've been plugging away on, Emma, this is one of your favorite bikes, CX500.
Yes.
For about 3 years now. I'll post about it on the Discord server every once in a while, but lately I've been working on getting the frame painted. Right now I'm hitting everything with cutting compound and waxing. I spent a few hours last night dremeling in all the nooks and crannies with a buffing head and cutting compound. I like that getting down into that fine detail there.
This person's going deep.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have it back in running condition for Art Moto Fest October 3rd in Greensboro, North Carolina. One thing no one mentions about paint is how frustrating it is that the parts of the frame that are on full display are a nightmare to get cleaned up and buffed. But there's a dumbass part that just turned out with perfect color and clear coat without doing anything.
Under the tank.
The back of my kickstand
yeah.
mounting hardware is a royal blue mirror, but no one will ever see that damn thing. So he's given us a link to his garage, and here's something he put in his garage. A painting booth.
Oh,
yes.
That's pretty cool. He says, I've got probably another 3 years of ideas of things I want to do to her, 5 if I get around to learning to weld. Regards from Mike D. Hey, Mike.
And, I'm glad he brought up because, we talked about the death count at Sturgis last week. And I don't want to reflect on this, but every single person that died at Sturgis is someone's dad, is someone's mom, is someone's son, is someone's uncle. These aren't just, faceless, stupid people. These people had loved ones. And every single person that died at Sturgis, no matter what the circumstances, there are people going through exactly the same thing as what Stacy's going through. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Bagel.
Yeah. And that's okay. And just to circle back, the name of the movie that Mike D referenced was Black Beach / White Beach, A Tale of Two Beaches.
Ooh,
all right.
I want to check that out. Thank you, Bagel.
Yeah. Do you have an idea where we can stream it, Bagel?
I don't know. It's listed on IMDb though.
All right.
Yep. Black Beach, White Beach. Okay. Now, John has got a long one. I've asked him
I already
to kind of
knew that.
Cut it down. I really appreciate that people take the time to share things with us. But 3 pages is a bit long. So I've asked him to shorten it as much as he can.
And this is from Stephanie from Better Bikes.
Yeah. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey,
Stefani.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Misfits. I've been having so much motorcycle fun this summer. I've only yet finished to episode 630, the Sportster special. As Chris calmly pointed out, I do have some experience with Sportsters. Why do I love Sportsters? They have always seemed to have a great power to weight ratio, giving them a very eager feel. It's like riding a young horse that's been cooped up in the barn. Wake up a properly tuned Sportster and it's tugging at the reins, begging you to behave badly. The other thing with the old Sportsters was really they were really standard motorcycles, not cruisers, which means, like as Liza said, you can transform a Sportster into anything, touring bike, scrambler, chopper, whatever. What I do not love about what do I not love about Sportsters? The factory has dropped the ball, and tripped over it with the Sportster line more than any other motorcycle. The biggest peeve is the dollar store suspension. Yes. I'm surprised that Showa even put their name on the garbage they sell the Harley Davidson. And the new RH Sportsters, except for the Pan America, which is a pretty great motorcycle, is so specialized as I don't even know what the thing is. I took one out for a test ride and couldn't wait to get off. And there's very little you can do to change it for something likable. Some personal history. My first running motorcycle was a heavily modeled 1957 XL, which is upgraded to an XL-CH with high compression pistons and a non-retardable magneto ignition, means no battery. Kickstarting was terrifying. I could smell fear. And if you didn't kick it like you owned it, the thing would kick back and throw you out of the street. Of course, it was also prone to slipping, the cause of the dreaded Sportster knee that Emma mentioned. So basically, no suspension and no brakes. I started learning to ride on the monster on the Lower East Side of New York. It was interesting to say the least, dodging the potholes, pedestrians, and homicidal taxi drivers.
Yeah.
A few notes about Sportsters I think Emma missed. The original 1957 was dedicated an XL and had low compression, battery and points, kickstart motor. The story goes that a California dealer installed a set of high pipes, high compression pistons, a magneto, and a small peanut tank from a Hummer, ? To make a desert racer. The local Harley rep told the factory guys about it, and that became the model for the XL-CH. CH also stands for Charlie Horse, which I believe was introduced in an official model in 59. The 900cc motor was used until about 71, and they bored the cylinders over 60 and got 1,000 cc's for 1972 and early 73. After that, the base bolt pattern was enlarged slightly, and larger cylinders were used. Backing up to the XR750 for a moment, it isn't really considered a Sportster, not by me anyway. The top end and cams are quite different since the sequence front to back is exhaust, intake, as opposed to the Sportster's exhaust, intake, exhaust. The first few years of the XR750 were based on the Ironhead XL, but were extremely unreliable in the distress of racing. For 73, the engine got much better bearings and aluminum top end was introduced, which was the basis for the XR750 used until recent times. I think that Harley-Davidson offered the XR750 as a complete motorcycle for only a few years, if ever. All the ones I've ever seen were built with the aftermarket frame, suspension, and wheels. Note to Stumpy John. The Sportsters had their own 883 road racing series. That's true. I think it was in the 1990s. I remember to go see them several times at the end of Daytona Bike Week. Todd also has a retired 883 road racer in his collection, which I think is a 1995 from Barnett's HD in California. I think another one of my favorite Sportsters, the S. Yeah, there was a Sportster Sport that came out in 96 and ran until 2003. The 1200S had dual plugs head and a fully adjustable suspension, dual disc cartridge forks even. Of course, it was a flop, and back then everyone wanted chrome. Nowadays, those folks are asking for $1,000 and up. Best looking Sportster, I think it was the 1960s HLCH. The old Magneto Sportsters had a beautiful horseshoe oil tank. It was much prettier than the battery and oil back model.
Yes.
Sorry, my throat's getting dry. The peanut tank, sprung solo seat, and horseshoe oil tank. That's the best looking Sportster era. Okay, enough ranting for now. Love you guys. Sorry I didn't get to spend more time. Vintage motorcycle days. John lost his voice.
Good Lord. And
John's getting all verklempt.
Old water sitting next to me now.
I am told, and I do stand to be corrected, and I didn't realize this. So I can't remember if I mentioned it because I found it out recently that the reason why Sportsters changed so much was they used the XLCR frame on all Sportsters after 77. So all Sportsters after 1977 had the XLCR Cafe Racer frame, which is why they looked so different. If you look at 76 and before Sportsters, and then 77 and after, very different looking animals, because they used this frame that was really A very different looking frame. But I agree, early Sportsters, God, they're drop dead gorgeous. My favourite, 73, 74. They are cute as a bug's ear.
Awesome.
Yes.
You got one there, Emma?
I do indeed. And this one is from Kurt Adams.
Hey, Kurt.
Howdy, Misfits. You may or may not remember my last email from a year and a half ago, as I let the Miss Emma in my head convince me to go insane and jump a bike into a pine tree while competing against my brother in a competition of manhood. That sounds like me. I enjoyed being in your head, Kurt. It's very comfortable. Anyway, my email relates to last week's show regarding if old, simplistic bikes are better than anything in a showroom today. Of course they are. I've recently been able to really experience the difference between the two this summer. I currently own a wonderful MT-09 SP that I love very much, but early in June, as I was chatting with my dad, he remarked on the fact that besides the baby Honda 70 from my childhood, I'd never really experienced an old bike, and that the joys that come with it. Having been born in the mid-90s, I grew up loving sport bikes of the 2000s and 2010s that were current with little regard for anything older. My own ownership journey in bikes reflects this, with no bikes having been older than 2006. That was until recently. This conversation got me thinking, and at the end of June, I decided that it was time to seriously look for something older to experience. My dad and brother both talk so fondly about the ownership opportunity an older bike brings to your garage, and the curiosity of the prospect finally made me cave. Are you better, John? Do you have something nice to drink now?
You made it.
Did you have a nice poo? Very good. Yeah, you look noticeably slimmer, darling. I think you're about 3 or 4 pounds lighter. Very good. Anyway, I began searching Facebook Marketplace. Oh, dangerous thing, Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, look what happened to
for
me.
something older and cheap. I was really surprised what 4K can get you. Can get you a lot, darling. Having no real knowledge before 2004, I was in no man's land of what to look for and what styles I myself even liked. One day, I came across a 1984 Honda Nighthawk 700. It's actually a Nighthawk S. For $1,500. Called the guy and ended up getting it for $1,200 after some smooth talking. My brother dropped me off and I rode it back home. Since then, the poor Yamaha's only been ridden a couple of times. I'm having so much fun on this new Nighthawk coming from the MT-09. It feels so straightforward and honest. That's a great way to describe it. You know that you're on your own. There is no electronic systems at all whirling around in the background responding to compensate for everything that you do, like in the Yamaha, which never really lets up when it comes to the electronics. I look for the pure confidence of ability that it inspires, but it always feels like it's in the attack mode. The contrast that I never knew I needed is in the Honda. The engine just purrs away underneath me. It makes a tuneful sound without being noisy. It's simple to work on. It's also fun to work on since it's all mechanical. But most of all, it gives me a big smile as I bop around rural Wisconsin, bop, 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 pretending I'm enjoying the country in 1984 like my dad was on his bikes. Anyway, I babbled on long enough, and I just wanted to reaffirm your conversation from last week that while old and new are very different, they both offer something special and unique for the rider. Keep up the great work. And here's a picture of a Nighthawk 700S. Very handsome bike.
I love that bike.
They only came in 2 flavors. They came in
red and blue.
Yes, black with blue.
Love that
black
bike.
with red. Equally handsome.
Always wanted one of those.
That was the response to the tariff.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
called
it was.
Ronnie Reagan bikes.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's classic. It shows you the clout of the
Drive
Japanese.
shaft on that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really
Oh,
nice
yeah.
bike.
I mean, they were a little slow, but they look great.
No, they bop along really quite well. They're what's the term I want to use? Oh, no, our friend used it about her description of Sportsters. Eager.
Oh, yeah.
They're eager. You know, those are very good engines.
Bagel, you got one there?
I do. Got an email here from Ben Talbot.
Hey, Ben.
Struth,
says-
mate, you better get
he-
round here with a tire iron. I got a motorcycle stuck up my ass.
He writes, "Hi, gang. In response to your shout out for what we're working on, may I present my 39 Ariel 500?
Oh, you may.
The bike has been built by me for the upcoming Red Dust Revival at Lake Perkalele in the Western Australia outback. Lake Perkalele was the first racetrack in Western Australia and hosted motorcycle and car racing from 1914 to 1939, when World War II broke out. After the war, an airfield near Perth was handed over for motor racing, and competitors no longer had to drive 600 kilometres east to attend an event, so the 4-kilometre Claypan track became abandoned.
Oh.
Since 2014, there have been 3 revivals. The next will be at the beginning of October, and I am almost ready. My bike is running, but I have a leaking fuel tank that I was working on whilst listening to your latest pod. The Ariel started life as a 600cc side valve engine, but I've upgraded the power plant to an overhead valve Red Hunter 500 engine. I'm reasonably confident she'll crack 100 kilometres an hour.
Wow.
I hope you like it. And if any misfits want to come out to Western Australia for the Red Dust Revival, you'll be more than welcome to take the Ariel for a lap or two around the Perco circuit.
Ooh.
Regards, Dan, Western Australia.
So, I tell you what, there's always a soft spot in my heart for Ariels. I've had a couple of them, actually, over the years, and they were absolutely the finest motorcycles that Birmingham had to offer.
Including the Foursquare.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a square 4, darling. You've got to say it properly. You got to say. But, I mean, that was just one of the models. All of the Ariels were of very, very high quality. All of them were extremely well designed. All of them were just the loveliest bikes. And they suffered the cruelest fate at the hands of the BSA group. And that is a story for another podcast.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
But they were treated so cruelly at the end.
Yeah, I think we've touched on that once or twice.
Yes.
I've got one here.
Yeah, let's
Have
hear
you?
it.
Yeah, this one's from Jonathan Wolfer.
Hey, Jonathan.
Jonathan.
We know Jonathan.
Yeah. Ahoy, Misfits.
Ahoy.
I wanted to share with you the newest shirt out in the wilds of Laconia Bike Week. My wife and I brought our 11-month-old up to the White Mountains to share not only the places we love with him, but also to see his reaction to all the bikes at the rally. We were not disappointed, as he was so excited to see all the different motorcycles, vendors, and people watch with us. We didn't ride this year. This is my 12th year going to Laconia. We did bring this little Matchbox Ducati Scrambler.
Nice.
I also wanted to share my experience with my 2009 XL 1200N Nightster, affectionately referred to as Michelle.
Okay.
I bought Michelle brand new off the sales floor at Las Vegas Harley, rode it all over the Southwest for 2 years before riding her to New England, where I grew up. The bike now has over 96,000 miles on it.
That's great.
Good job, Jonathan. My wife tends to be Michelle's main rider these days, but I still love to take her out for a rip, especially after maintenance or fixing something. This bike is also a favorite of my 6'8" tall brother-in-law when he's in town. He's the option of my Dyna Switchback or Aprilia Futura, but always asks for the sporty. I love my Sportster, and I've spent so much time working on, tinkering, and diddling this bike that at this point it's a family heirloom.
Nice.
I love all that you do, and strangely enough, I miss Knock.
Aww.
And some lovely pictures of Jonathan and
pass
his
them around.
family.
I printed the pictures.
Very cool.
There's one of them in the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, baby.
Thanks for reaching out,
Nice.
Jonathan.
All right, I have another one here. This one is titled Kiss. No, not that kiss.
No.
Kiss.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, it's from our friend Roy Hanks. He says, "Hey, Misfits. I started riding in 1970 when I was 14 by begging rides on mini bikes from friends.
Good idea.
That's how you do it. Motorcycles were simple back then. Air-cooled drum brakes, crappy suspension, flexible frames, poor tires, carbs, you get the idea. I was in complete motosexual lust since day one. I was also undiagnosed with autism. I was laser focused on both learning to ride and understanding how motorcycles work. Over the years on my own bikes, even though I was constantly making, hopefully, improvements and upgrades, the same basic functions remained of throttle, clutch, brakes, steering. I took a lot of pride in mastering these functions to the best of my ability. Finding the limits of my riding and the motorcycle was not always easy, but very rewarding and helped develop a symbiotic relationship. Fast forward today, with the advent of ABS, anti-wheeling aids, traction control, ride modes, hack spit automatic DCTs, and a host of other band-aids, it dumbs down and insulates the rider from the true riding experience. All I can say is I'm very glad to come up through the ranks when I did. It is sort of like becoming a ham radio in the old days that required a person to understand electronics and learn Morse code. Nowadays, you purchase a 2-meter walkie-talkie and learn how to use a local repeater. Not even remotely the same thing. Cheers from Roy Hanks.
Yeah, and I mean, Roy's got a point. I mean, I stand by what I said last week. Modern bikes are demonstrably better and safer than older ones. But, you know, I'm still monkeying around with a carburetted superbike.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's value in both. Each gives a very different experience.
One's more analog and one's more digital.
And I had a great time sliding around corners on that C70 in the dirt for a couple of days.
Big fun on small bikes.
It was a lot of fun.
Ooh, Liza's gesturing at me. I have another one. And this is from K-Bike Dave.
Hey, K-Bike Dave.
My response to the latest episode's question, I've had a whole bikes my whole 57 years of life doing my own repairs and maintenance. My latest is a 1993 BMW K75S. Recently changed the head bearings and fork seals. After 300 plus miles, I have a puddle of fork oil on my driveway. Oh no. Boo. I know why as well, Dave. I bet you bought the wrong size seals. Those seals in that bike are like 30, no, they're like 42.9 or 7 or something. They're standalone seals. They are just the weirdest thing. Annoying as hell. I hate not having a running bike during the prime riding season. I should be able to redo the seals this weekend, but that's not what I want to be doing. I love this bike, but I'm 57 and I want to ride more and repair less. Maybe a newer bike will be in my future soon. The gadget that saved my life last weekend was the K-Bike's ABS. As ancient as it is, it worked.
On those bikes, it goes.
Yeah, it worked beautifully when somebody actually stopped on a yellow light. Ha ha! It's my first bike with ABS. Love your podcast, Dave. You know, shall I tell you why we got ABS?
Why?
It's aircraft technology.
Oh,
but why did
World
we
War
get
II,
it?
right?
Yeah, World War II aircraft technology. Because during World War II, when the bombers and the fighters were going up and down, mainly the bombers, the big stuff, they didn't have the advantage. Oh, we can't go bombing today because it's raining. Mm-hmm. So they had to figure out a way
to bomb in the rain.
To, you know,
to land
in the rain. And, you know, enormously clever people work in the aeronautical industry. And so ABS, as it was born. It was very, very analog back then. But bum, 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 bum. And then it was cars. And we've already talked about the first production car with ABS. And then, of course, we get it.
Can I ask for a future at History Hole that you do technology that came from planes?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot.
And Bagel knows what ABS actually really stands for, because it doesn't stand for anti-lock brakes.
Anti-Blockierungssystem.
Yeah, Anti-Blockierten-System. Yeah, it's German.
I've got a second one.
Yes.
Go on, then.
This one's from Rick Dorfmeyer.
Hey, Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Miss Emma.
Hello.
Oh, there she is.
I have a 69 T120R.
Yeah.
That's a good bike.
I'm the third owner.
Okay.
I bought it from the second who owned it from 1970 until myself.
Okay.
It has all of its original parts.
Yes.
Save the handlebars, which are a Flanders replica of stuff.
Yeah.
I have had much trouble starting her.
Okay.
She has great spark.
Yes.
The air filters are clean.
Yes.
I've recently cleaned and rebuilt the carbs.
Yes.
It starts with starter fluid and will stay running, but won't idle. Your thoughts?
Fuel line?
No, it's classic AMAL problem. So what you've got to do is AMALs are the very, very misunderstood carbs. Really misunderstood carbs. And the old AMALs had a non-removable idle jet. And so what you've got to do, if it's got the original carbs on it, you've got to take the idle screw out. And I'm not talking about there's 2 screws on that carburetor. You've got the throttle stop screw that kind of points up at 45 degrees. That just sets the idle speed. We're looking at the one that, as you're looking at the side of the carburetor, is facing you, and they're handed, they're left and right. There's 2 things I want you to think about. First is, those carbs are handed, and you'd better have them on the right side, because if you haven't, you haven't got an idle passage.
Interesting.
Oh.
So you'd better make sure that the float chamber is on the proper carb. So
because they're at different angles?
No, they're handed left and right. And ostensibly, they look exactly the same. It's very easy to take the float chambers off.
But the passages don't line up or something?
So if you look at an AMAL float chamber, so you look at it, and you're looking at the mating face where it goes onto the carburetor, you'll actually see it's got the float and the float valve right in the center, and then there's an open passageway and there's a blocked passageway. And then you look underneath the carburetor and you make sure that the open passageway is next to the open passageway on the carburetor. If it is not, you've got the wrong things. But I don't think it's that. What I think it is, it's just the idle jets are blocked. So what you need to do is you need to take the idle screw out completely, get a flashlight in it, and you'll see there's like a screw threaded part. Then it goes to a smaller diameter chamber, and then right at the very end, there's a tiny diameter chamber, which is about a 16th thou. So get your
guitar string.
Get your guitar string, and you've got to go in and wiggle it about, and then it'll go in a bit further.
Or even better, a strand of copper from like an automotive wire.
Yeah. But you've got to get in there and make sure you get in all the way to the end. If you've ever fitted a torque converter on a car transmission, you kind of goes clunk, and then you turn it and it goes clunk, and then you turn it, wiggle it backwards and forwards, and you get the final clunk. It's that kind of idea. You'll go in with the wire and you'll feel it go bump. And you're like, ooh, I'm there, but you're not. And then you've got to wiggle it around. It goes a bit further. And then draw it out, follow it through with carb cleaner. It's either a blocked idle jet or your float chambers are mixed up. Those float chambers have never been off since the bike was new. Well, there were plenty of bikes that ran down the line with the float chambers on wrong, and they never idled.
And it does sound like Rick took these things apart.
Yes, so I bet he mixed the float chambers up.
Or it's that idle passage thing.
One of the 2.
Good call. We have time for one more. Bagel, we'll get that from you. And Emma, you're going to save that one for next week. Okay?
I will indeed.
I don't think I have another one.
It was the one I sent you last week that didn't get read. Do you want me to read it?
Oh, yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll take it. This is from our friend Jason in Seattle, also known as 6 Bike Garage.
Oh yes, hello.
Not 9, right?
yeah, I think. It's all a lie. He says, I heard on the podcast, Liza, I heard on the podcast you're heading to Bonneville. Why, yes, I am. A friend / associate of mine from Seattle here is going to be there. He's going for a record on an old BSA. His name is Jeff Earl. Might make an interesting interview for the podcast if you cross paths with him, though his brother Doug is more talkative if he is there. If you see a tall, bald guy with a BSA, please tell him that I said to say hi. He had previously attempted the record on the same bike, but after lots of head scratching, found that the fuel vent couldn't draw air fast enough, and it would start sucking air from one carb to the other. So he says, if I'm remembering that correctly, so the one side would run rich and foul out. Interesting. Cheers, Jason. Thank you. I'm going to hold on to this because, Jim and I are going to Bonneville next week. Going to be hanging out with our friend Aaron Sills and others. Turns out, like I said, our friend Alan, he's the announcer, and we have other friends who are working different jobs there. So I think it's just going to be a fun weekend. Looking forward to it. And you guys are running the show.
Yes. That means
a big show.
Monkey's in charge.
I will be in charge, which means you all will do exactly what I say.
So glad I won't be here. So just a reminder, couple things we'd like from the listeners. One, send us an email to tell us about your dream garage, your dream neighborhood, your dream mall, whatever it is. Also, send us your letter in honor of Jason about something you've overcome.
And please mark the one, because, I want to devote this overcoming thing to a standalone thing. So make sure you mark on the envelope overcoming. And you can nominate somebody. And we'll reach out to them because it's important.
Send that envelope to motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com.
There you go. motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. You can also go to our website, motorcyclesandmisfits.com. You'll find the links to see what we look like, where we're going to be, and what our T-shirts are.
We're devilishly handsome, especially Johnny.
I know.
Who, it looks like
dead sexy.
He looks like a movie star. He really does.
You did get lucky with the hair. You got good hair.
I did.
I have to say, you did.
And
got to win something.
Rumors that he is a weirdie with a beardie are largely fabricated. Actually,
And the carpet does match the drapes.
God almighty. 50 Shades of Grey? Darling.
No, it's actually really brown.
Oh, God.
Goodness.
Pooh Brown?
Save us all. So
There's
this is where I
next
get
week.
to say thank you for putting up with John and Emma and enjoying the show and the rest of us, because you guys are just too much. Anyway, thank you very much for sticking with us. We love you guys. Keep the emails coming, and especially our Patreon subscribers.
Who are the finest examples
like
of
Stacey,
humanity.
who's supporting us after all that. Thank you so much, Stacey. You're the best. Keep the emails coming. Keep the love coming. We love you guys. Thanks so much. Time to get out of here. This is Liza.
Stumpy John.
Emma, darling.
Scottie. Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.